Hello YouTube, it's Tyler. It's been a minute, but we need to talk. I have gotten the KlipperMod working on my Flashforge 85, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got that set up. But first, we're going to go over some maintenance items that I do to keep my Flashforge 5M running at peak performance at all times. Let's get into it. Okay, the first maintenance item I want to discuss is the cold pull. Because every once in a while, you'll get a nozzle that clogs up, and the only way that you're going to be able to fix it is by doing this. So, I have a little bit of filament left over. I never flush cut this for this purpose. I'm going to use a Bic lighter. I'm going to heat the very tip of this nozzle up until the filament inside of it begins to soften. And once I feel that it's able to move, I'm going to let it cool for a second until it solidifies some, and then pop it out. I have it just loosely clamped in this little 3D printed vise here. So, let's do it. Just the very tip. No more, no less. I'm just pulling it back and forth until I feel it move. Sometimes it takes a minute. Okay, here it goes. Just gonna push it in some until I feel it cool. Then out it comes. And there we have it. That's cold pull. And I'm not really seeing anything in the end of this one, so the nozzle is probably pretty clean. So I am going to move on to the next little tidbit. Alright, I have given this a moment to cool and grabbed some light because I noticed it was a little dim in the last clip. So now I'm going to come in with my trusty wire brush and just give everything a good brush down, make sure it's all good and clean. Make sure there's really nothing left on the tip. Any of these little pieces on the outer molding yourself, you can pop off with a scraper. That's not bad. But that looks pretty good. Alright, and now my favorite product in 3D printing that I've discovered since starting this. I'm coming in with Slice Engineering's plastic repellent. This is the PTFE suspension. That just comes with a little brush like this. And you just brush it on the nozzle. I like to brush it all over because it keeps the filament from sticking. So I'm just going to give this a nice, healthy coat. Anywhere it looks like it's stuck before. Okay, that should be good. And just like that, we have a clean and ready nozzle, ready to go back in the printer. All right, stick this bad boy back in there. I'll push it in, give it a little tug, make sure it's in there good. Now that we're over here at the printer, I would like to take a moment to discuss what I do to keep my rails and screws nice and lubricated. So, obviously in here, we have the X and Y rails, and down below here on the bed, we've got these 3 Z screws and their guide rods. I lubricate all of these with Super Lube. I'll grab the bottle, I'll be right back. This is Super Lube multi-purpose synthetic grease. This is what I use. I've used this since day one. I didn't even use the lubricant that came with the printer. This goes strong, lasts a long time. I apply it like once every 200 hours or so. And for application, I just take a little bit on the tip of my finger and I rub it up and down each guide rod, and then I'll put the bed in the homing mode and move everything all around to help evenly distribute it. Run a quick test print to make sure nothing drips or dribbles, clean up any excess, and you're good to go. Alrighty, now that we've got the nozzles back in and everything's all lubed up, we can go ahead and I'm going to withdraw this roll of HSPLA that I have on here because it is empty and fire the printer up. So let's do it. I think we're gonna print on some more blue Sunloop PETG today. I love this stuff. That is an awesome color. Alright, I got the spool fed in, so we are going to be ready to load. I'm going to use the little screen here and set the nozzle to whatever temp I want to load at. In this case, I'm going to choose 240. Excuse the power supply noise. I am going to be replacing that soon as well because that fan is barked for sure. I think there's no way around it. So I am now going to grab my tablet because I keep the fluid interface on there. So we got fluid open on the tablet here. Shows me the webcam view and everything. I'm going to go ahead and go down to the extrude length section. And I like to do 150 millimeters. One up for my purge. It's just the perfect amount to get a nice clean stream of the next stuff out. And I'm going to do 8 millimeters a second because 10 gets kind of noisy. Once she's all up to temp, which she is, I like to set my tablet off to the side over here. Make sure I got my filament at the ready. And then I just press extrude. And just like that, here comes filament. Well, clearly that wasn't a great cold pull because there's still a little bit of white PLA in there. But we got a nice clean line. So I'm gonna go ahead and zero the extruder back out because I'm not ready to print just yet. And just like that, we're now ready to print. So I guess now I should tell you how I got the mod running. Alright, so all in all of the problems I had along the way were totally user error. It was everything that I was doing wrong. I followed this guide from ZeroDotCMD on YouTube. I'll put the link to that down in the description. And I even talked to him in the comments a little bit about some of the issues that I had along the way, and he helped me troubleshoot them. It was all down to me just not pressing the right buttons when I was setting up the Orca Slicer configurations. Don't hit generic printer, go down to Flashforge, and then you modify the start and end G code. Go watch that other video, he explains it way better than I ever could. Alright, one more tidbit on maintenance. While I have you here. Inside here, obviously, there are the XY belts. Every once in a while, check and make sure that these have some tension on them. I've found that people's will go loose over time, and that will lead to degraded print quality, broken belts, stripped gears. You don't want to do it. So obviously, the belt is right here. You can just feel it. There's some tension on it. We're good. And there's also a Z belt way down underneath where my build plates are down there. you gotta tip the machine on its side to see it. So if you start having issues, check that every once in a while. As far as adjusting these belts are concerned too, Flashforge has an entire playlist on their YouTube channel with how-tos about how to dismantle this unit and how to adjust things. I recommend that you follow their guides. They're pretty thorough. It shows you around pretty well. So there we have it. It works after all. It was just user error. Oh, also, Ethernet. Very important. Wi-Fi is not fun on this thing. Take the film off your camera too. That's a good one. For all other inquiries, you can join my Discord group. I made a Discord group called Furious Forging for AD5M, 5M Pro, and 5X users to just discuss ideas, give and get help, and talk about all things 3D printing. I will leave the link to that as well in the description down below. So I hope you check that out, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.